It's crypto blood, Detroit flow, screaming from the D, knowing what to show. Indicators on wrong point, OG since 12, invested in trade, living life like a pro. I'm Rucker, Jerry, it just bloods do. Bad motherfucker in a good way, boo. Got my eyes on the charts, ain't no time to sleep. Get that money, gotta keep it creep. That's why crypto blood, Twisted Toasters on the line. Stacking my coin, got the market on my mind. Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum too. Cash is king, but I'm looking for a new move. I know the culture of the markets like the streets. Got my finger on the pulse, can't nobody beat. I see the trends, I see the flow. Got my strategies in place.
Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live.
Okay. Ready?
Fucking thing sucks. We'll do it live.
Okay. All right. We should be live, ladies and gents. Welcome to the show. Cigars and Chill. I'm still smoking that same cigar from yesterday. The Tatawai Karloff. Probably can't see that properly. And no, it's not focusing. There we go. Tatawai Karloff. Not a huge fan. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm giving this about a 7.5 out of 10. Maybe, yeah, 7.5 out of 10. Round of applause. True Ducal. I haven't seen him in a minute. Shout out to him. Wisdom Bars in the building. That's right. Smash those like booties, ladies and gents. Wisdom Bars in the house. He says that's as likely to happen as the whole birthright crap he's pushing. So Wisdom Bars, you say it's crap. So you don't believe in us. So we know constitutionally there's been a precedent set. I don't know, back when, in 18 something, right? That said, if you were born here, your parents were illegal, you were born here, you now become a legal citizen by birthright. So you think that's that should hold up? You know, by the way, you know there's no other country that does this. No other country that does this, bro. Last piece of the puzzle in the building. I'm sipping on some Ethiopian single origin Ethiopian bean coffee espresso. It's a macchiato, traditional macchiato. Been diving in the XRPL lately. You know how research goes. I hear you, bro. I saw something about what you mean by wife, Wisdom Bars? I saw something about man, they're good over there at XRP. I know we talk about Trump and the IRS and ERS. We're gonna get into it, but I saw something about Brad Garlinghouse having a conversation on Twitter Spaces saying that he spoke to the president about XRP being in the strategic reserve, right? That's just like the we're talking about the birthright. It's the same thing. You can't EO it. He's going to have to go through Congress and the formal process to even get a Bitcoin or crypto strategic reserve set up. Now, the state level, they could do it, but that's going to take a lot of energy to get done. Trump said that was meant for slaves. What was meant for slaves? The birthright thing? You know nothing about that part. Then that means half the white race over here is going back to Europe. They need to get the stepping out of here. That's funny, bro. That's funny. What's the best? I mean, Trump wife needs to be the first out of here since he cares so much about this. She, I think, was a citizen before, if I'm not mistaken. Clay the Great in the building. What's bracking, my G? Hey, I'm good, bro. Another day in paradise. Sitting back, smoking cigars, sipping on some macchiato, single origin. I'm just booling, baby. I'm booling. Like my man, big homie say, I'm gooling. I'm gooling. So today we're going to talk about this whole EO, and it, you know, I had some problems. I had a tough time finding this on the official White House website. We're going to take a look at where it is. It's actually buried inside of another EO that he did, and we'll take a look at that. I'll give you my thoughts about this. Let's go through some of this video. I want to first watch this one video, and we'll get into it. We'll have that conversation. And actually, what I'll probably do is, if anyone from the YouTube premium members area, y'all want to jump in on this later, you will surely be able to. I'm going to drop this in the chat room right now. So if y'all want to come up, this is one of the perks of being a member. Let me see if I drop this. Let me see here. Join the stream about 20 minutes or so. All right, 1 second, guys. Pin this. Bada boom, bada bing. All right, so any members can jump in if they want. In about 20 minutes, I'll go ahead and start pulling people up to the stage. But let's see what Caesar. So Alexis Gonzalez says he can't end birthright citizenship. Only Congress can change or make law. Correct. That's right, Caesar. That's right. But what it does is, y'all got to understand how Trump operates. Everything is not a linear move. Like, he does play some chess, right? So if he does one thing, he knows it's going to be blocked, but then it sets him up for the actual move. So, yeah, we all knew that it was going to be, it actually got, shot down, but now it is actually going to be going to Congress, and they're going to talk about this, and we'll see what happens. I personally think there shouldn't be going forward any birthright for citizenship, because that's a loophole. Again, no other country, we're acting like this is something that is revolutionary, we've never seen before, is, some inhumane type of situation we're trying to, no, it ain't. No other countries do this. T Will said, Wisdom Bars. Wisdom Bars, are you in the I don't even know if you're in the chat. Rage Against the Machine, what's going on, bro? Trump can only enforce law. Yeah. Hit that like button on the way in, guys. Hit that like button. I don't know how many likes we got over on YouTube. We got about 17 people watching right now. So again, we're going to be talking about this potentially, he is making moves, initial moves to make another move. The first move was to, drop this or hint at this IRS, External Revenue Service. That's the first one. He saw JFK and then Men in Black may not like a deleted IRS. We're going to talk about that one too. That's major. That's a major key right there, guys. The release of the JFK, MLK, and Robert Kennedy files on their assassinations. Big stuff right there, big stuff. True Ducal said this country isn't supposed to be like other countries. True. True. That's true. But I don't know if that particular subject, True Ducal, is one where we need to be different. I don't know. And it's a stretch. It's a stretch. I'm against it, but I'm not like pushing it. I'm not one of those that's like, yeah, we really need what I am for is what's going on right now, where we're deporting illegal. If you go through the process to become a citizen, I have no problem with that. And I believe all the other people that went through all the paperwork and taking the test and having to study and go through all these steps to become a legal citizen, I'm sure they don't mind that either. They don't want no one coming over here short-circuiting or jumping the line. Earn your right to be a citizen the right way. So I'm for getting all these illegals, starting with the ones that have committed crimes and the ones that are already on the list to be deported. So no American should have any problem with that. No American should have any problem with that, because I even, I hear some people's arguments is, well, guess what? If I'm they like to say undocumented migrant, that's illegal. You're illegal. Again, no other country allows you to be undocumented in the country, just roaming around, doing your thing. It's ridiculous. So the thing is, though, here's the argument on the other side. They say, well, if I'm a undocumented illegal or undocumented migrant, I'm paying my taxes, I'm a law-abiding citizen, I'm paying taxes, I should be left alone. I should be good, be good to live here. Undocumented. First of all, you're not a law-abiding because you're here illegally. That's like that's the first thing. You're here illegally, so you're not law-abiding. And then, okay, let's talk about taxes. Whatever little taxes you're paying, because most of the time, if you're undocumented, you're making money under the table. I don't even know how the hell a person undocumented pays taxes other than maybe sales tax, but so does everyone else in America. So you're not paying wage tax, right? You're not paying all the other property taxes. You're not paying property tax. You're not paying wage. You're not paying all these other taxes. So you're still here on the backs of Americans who are paying taxes. You're still a net negative to society in regards to resources, the resources you use. It just doesn't add up, ladies and gents. So you have to also crack down eventually on the undocumented citizens, not citizens, but migrants. T. Will says, you know what's crazy? And we'll watch this video in a second. You know what's crazy? He says, T. Will, we have to pay to renounce, but illegals get in for free and leave for free. CB, some people don't think it out. No, they're not thinking it out, bro. They're not thinking it out. It's diabolical. The shit is diabolical. And I didn't even think about that narrative either, T. Will. That's a good point, bro. You got cats able to come and go free. Not only free, they were able to come and be like literally paid to come because we're as taxpayers paying for them to come over here through that one app, the CBP One app or whatever it was called. That's on the backs of taxpayers. They pay a little fee, but they're not paying the whole fee to get over here. So it's ridiculous. is the rationale is not, it's out of control. You say you got the video, huh? Of JFK? Okay. Brit VR says, how are these people getting mad about deportation and didn't say nothing about Obama? Because they're following the narrative. They're playing the line of the team. You know, whatever the team is spewing, they're going to just play it. And Brit VR, you know, tell us how it is in Chicago, bro. I know you're out in Chicago. That dumbass mayor, y'all got that governor, both of them. The mayor of Chicago is a bit. I've never seen anybody as stupid as him in my entire life. I don't know how the hell y'all elected a mayor with a mohawk. First of all, that's number one. Pause. You got to pause on that. Like, come on, man. You got a mohawk, not gonna fly. LA, yeah, LA, man. No, it's all good, bro. Listen, all sides are welcome here, True Duke. Ain't no problem, bro. Yeah, LA is fucked up too. So you know that ain't working out there. Whatever they doing out there, bro, ain't working. It's unsustainable. It's unsustainable. Come here the right way, in my opinion, True Duke. Just come on over in the right way. That's all I'm saying. I'm all for more people coming into the States, but it's got to be the right way. So let's take a look at what Trump is saying here in this first video real quick. Let me see if I can pull this up. Let me know if y'all hear this too. You should be able to hear this. Let me see.
America is going to be very rich again, and it's going to happen very quickly. It's time for the United States to return to the system that made us richer and more powerful than ever before. Do you know the United States in 1870 to 1913, all tariffs, and that was the richest period in the history of the United States, relatively speaking. In other words, relatively. And they set up the Great Tariff Commission of 1887, and this commission had one function: what to do with all the money that we took in. It was so enormous that they had no idea. It was a blue ribbon committee. It was set up 1887, and what to do with all of the money that we had. And again, Teddy Roosevelt was a beneficiary, because when McKinley was killed, he took over this vast sum of money, and he did all of those national parks and all of the other things. And I'm not knocking him, but he was given a vast amount of money. And that was all made through tariffs. We had no income tax. The income tax came in 1913. As I said in my speech last week, instead of taxing our citizens to enrich foreign nations, we should be tariffing and taxing foreign nations to enrich our citizens. Does that make sense, right?
Makes sense to me, Trump. So that's the first move, to set up the IRS. That's the first move. Then he will, and that's a stretch. I'm not gonna lie. Abolishing the IRS probably ain't gonna happen. But give the guy some credit for attempting to. That's all I'm saying. I mean, can anybody just give this nigga some credit for attempting to do a move like that, right? A lot of people wanted to abolish the Fed. I don't think that will happen either. But what may happen, if he's successful, what may happen is, if we can start gaining some revenue and seeing good success with the IRS, we could then possibly, reduce the footprint of the IRS. This would be a disaster, but don't listen to me. Why would this be a disaster, John Hill? Why would this be a disaster? To create the IRS and reduce the footprint of the IRS. Because I'm gonna play another video, and I don't know if y'all know this. Maybe you're not familiar or have it come to the realization that our taxes really don't pay for shit. It's especially at the federal level. It's an illusion. It's an illusion because most of your money that these programs are funded by, most of that shit comes from bonds, the debt, right? Paper debt that's created, and then that debt is money is just created out of thin air, and the government uses that money. So a large portion of it, I would say up to like 80% of all the stuff that's being funded in this country is through debt creation, through bonds, through paper debt. King Chris said, just created a DeepSeek account. Real quick on the DeepSeek. This is one thing y'all got to understand with the DeepSeek. And I might have it up right now. Let me see. So on DeepSeek, just remember this. All right, on DeepSeek, you want to make sure you hit Deep Think R1. Because if you don't hit R1, you're going to be running DeepSeek V3, which is good. It's good. It's on par with ChatGPT 4. But the R1 is the reasoning model. That's the model that actually thinks. That's where the meat and potatoes are, ladies and gentlemen. So if you're using DeepSeek, I mean, don't turn this on just for the sake of it, but this is good for actually thinking through. And it takes longer because it's actually reasoning through your question, and it shows you while it's doing it. While it's actually doing it, it shows you. Let me see. What can we do? Let's see here. I'm just typing constitutionally. Sorry about that. Constitutionally appropriate or correct. So I just typed up some I didn't even think about. So it says it's thinking. Now let's see if it does. Okay, so here's the reasoning part. It's thinking through. It's literally thinking through the question. And I actually had the search, meaning it allow it to go out to the internet and find data to compute its answer, right? So this all in gray is the actual reasoning of the system. So it says, okay, let's tackle this question about whether Trump's executive order to create the External Revenue Service is constitutionally correct. I need to look through the provided search results to gather information on the constitutional aspects. It goes on to say, first, from page 1, the Forbes article says that the president can't create a new federal agency without congressional approval. They mention the Presidential Reorganization Authority, which requires an act of Congress. Historically, agencies like the EPA were created under such authority. So Trump would need Congress to grant him the power. And it just goes through and it's reasoning through, and it's going through all these pages. And then it says, putting this together, the Constitution assigns Congress the power to create agencies. The president's authority to reorganize or create agencies is limited unless Congress delegates that power through legislation. So this is all the reasoning, and so then it spits out the actual response for us. This is the power of reasoning models, ladies and gentlemen. We're now in a new era. Okay, we're in a new era of AI. It's crazy. It's crazy. Let me see what you guys are saying here. So Second Wind Stories says, except exporters don't pay tariffs to export their own products. People who have no idea about international sales don't understand that this isn't even true. Taxes are fake. It's crazy how all the Dems states are all in debt. No, it's not crazy. It is it's common sense. It makes sense, actually, newborn. It makes a hell of a lot of sense. It makes sense that all the Democratic states are in debt. Illinois is on the brink of insolvency. I don't know how they're going to continue on. Illinois' debt is diabolical. They have some of the worst debt. I think they got downgraded. But what's even crazier is that all the Democrat or blue cities are riddled with low quality education, violence. It's a number of things that are common amongst blue cities. We got Crypto City in the building. Yeah, man, get those blowfin accounts and BYD-Fi accounts set up, ladies and gents. I'll put the QR code up on the screen right now. This Monday, this coming Monday, is going to be a blowfin. Or what did we do, T. Will? Did we just do a blowfin on Monday, or did we do a BYD-Fi? I can't remember. At any rate, here's the blowfin. Create yourself a blowfin account, or I'm sorry, BYD-Fi account. And then here is blowfin. I think we just did a BYD-Fi. So next week's will be a blowfin. So you'll need your blowfin account, this one right here, for next week's giveaway. All right. Clay Grace says, JOCB, have you seen the Zeitgeist series? Yes, I've seen that. A lot of what they talked about and even suggested is coming into play. Sure is. Sure is. Trying to get people to stand up and force Congress to do what they are supposed to do for the American people. True. For too long, Congress has been lazy. They haven't had their feet to the fire. And I'm hoping that, they get it together, man. Yeah, I've played around with the Pine Script and TradingView. Not really good results. You got to still kind of know what you're doing. Anybody else got choppy audio? All right, go City, thank you. He said my mic is loud. All right, let me try to bring that down. What about now? Hopefully the levels are good. What about now, guys? Still choppy? Still choppy? Let me know. Chop, chop. All right, let me see something, ladies and gents. Give me a second. See what's going on here. I don't know what's going on. Why that would be choppy like that. Test 1, 2. Yeah, that's strange. Let's see. Let me try backing out, and I'll come back in real quick before we move. You good to me, fam, on the audio? So somebody else saying the audio is good. That's strange. I wonder if it's all right. So let me try this. What about now? Still choppy? Chopper style. Chop, chop, choppers out. Testing 1, 2. Brian Kelso, thanks for tuning in. Let me know. Drop me a 1 if it's choppy, 2 if we're good. If not, I'll back out and come back in. It might have been me sharing. All right. All right. Give me a second, guys. Give me 1 second. 1 second. Test 1, 2. How we looking, y'all? Hopefully we looking good. Panda chop. what is a panda chop? Man, y'all crazy. Again, it's Cigars and Chill, y'all. All right, we good. Round of applause. We good, baby. Let's go. I'm smoking on this Tatawai. It's all right. I give it a 7.5 out of 10. It's all right. Now tomorrow, or let's see. Let me show y'all something real quick. Bring out the humidor. Okay. Tomorrow I'm gonna try Mr. Tequila. Tomorrow I'm gonna try this new one I've never even heard of. It's called a Freud, like Sigmund Freud. Limited edition. Never even heard of this brand. It was kind of expensive too. So Let's see if I can rotate it so you guys can see that Sigmund Freud cigar. We'll try that tomorrow. I'll let you guys know. I'll bring it up on the screen. We'll look at it on the screen and see what its wrapper and binder and all that good stuff. See what it's all about. But we'll see. It's a pretty expensive cigar. All right, at any rate, I wonder if it was the share. Let me know if I'm choppy still. Because I'm wondering if it was the share screen that made it do that. I'm not too sure. But we were going through the, doing a little demo of DeepSeek R1. Again, you have to click that R1 to use the latest powerful reasoning model of DeepSeek V3. And it gives you, it actually prints out what it's thinking as it's doing the research to answer your question, which is phenomenal. When am I going to review the Black and Mild? Unfortunately, T will never, my friend. Them scraps, them scraps they put in that bad boy. I don't smoke the Black and Milds. All right, Hyman, thank you, Crypto City. Thank you, guys. All right, so we're good. So let's keep this show on the road. Why don't we? So if we look at, let's play. So we played that first video, and this tweet was pretty interesting by DC Draino. This is funny. Oh, it's not. He says here, first he enacts the tariffs, then he builds the External Revenue Service to pile up the foreign money, then he warms people up with no tax on tips and Social Security checks. Then once the foreign tariff coffers are filled up, he abolishes all federal income tax. The perfect switch. Again, sounds good on paper. That shit sounds real good on paper. But it ain't gonna go down like that. We all know it ain't gonna go down like that. Not gonna go down like that. And again, I found, it took me some time. We're gonna look at the official White House website where this whole External Revenue Service thing comes from. It's not an explicit by itself executive order. It's actually up under another order or embedded within another order. Executive order we'll take a look at here in a second. Hit that like button, share this stream if you guys like the information I'm putting out. Black and Mild wine flavor, bro. Y'all are hood as hell in here today, boy. The Philly Blunt Summer Line. T Will, bro. You know too much, man. You know too much. They're heavy on Black and Milds in Louisville. Y'all be smoking the whistles, huh? Do you think Trump is deliberately trying to tank markets because these plans won't work? John Hill, why won't the plans work, bro? I'm not understanding why the plans won't work. Help me understand why the plans won't work. I don't understand. So first, the IRS is definitely going to work. That's most definitely going to work. It has been so skewed for so many years in favor of foreign affairs and in favor of foreign countries. And it's because it's so crazy. I got another clip that he talks about it. President of El Salvador. He breaks it down to us, Americans. How you got a foreigner breaking this shit down to you? But anyway, he says it, man. Like, the reason why we skip out on countries paying their fair share when importing their goods and services to this country is because our congressmen and women, DC, has been fully bought and paid. They've been compromised. So they're doing backdoor deals Just like Sleepy Joe, it ain't just Sleepy Joe. Don't get it twisted. It's not just Biden, the Biden crime family. It's not just, Democrats. It's Republicans too. They've been doing it for years. They've been getting kickbacks for years. This is nothing new. So they've been getting kickbacks in order to pass laws that aren't advantageous to the citizen, to us. So in doing that, what they're doing is, we're gonna backdoor deals, get a little money on the side, allow y'all to bring y'all stuff in cheap or literally almost damn near free. But what we'll do is just tax our people to death. We'll just do that to make up for it. It's ridiculous, bro. If Trump doesn't have any major hiccups, we might not see a Dem president for at least 12 more years. We're gonna have some hiccups. And I think we're gonna have some financial markets hiccups. They're not gonna let it go smooth selling, T. Will. They're not. So we gotta see, and we know he's equipped to fight and navigate through trials and tribulations, but we got to see how he pans out in this, whatever is going to hit, whatever storm they're going to allow America to have in the next 4 years. We got to see how that pans out. If he's able to handle, him and his administration or his cabinet is able to handle it and navigate through it, then yeah, you done. Dems are done. John Hill says because it's not 1990s, government spending holds up the economy. Any shift, economy collapses. But how does government spending have anything to do with tariffs? Help me out. I got the lines open. That's right. Tell him, T. Will. We gotta have this conversation, bro. I'm not understanding. Presidents come and go. It's the people running in the background filling their bank accounts. Exactly. Change is going to have massive resistance from all angles of government. Round of applause to you, Mr. Sakila. Spot the F on. That's exactly right. It's not going to be easy. He's only been in office for a week, y'all. And though he's doing a great job right now, he's getting shit done. More done in 7 days than Biden did in 7 years. in 8 years, right? Biden in his administration and while he was with Obama. He's done more in 7 days than he's done in 7 years. John Hill, are you in our YouTube premium channel on Telegram? I thought you were in there. Let me see, bro. Let me invite you. Let me invite you to the Telegram room. Thought you were in there. Should have been in there. Let me see real quick. Let's invite a guy. Let me see his pup. Yeah, I'm not gonna say your name. Yeah, you in here. You're in the room. I pinned it on Telegram. CB YouTube chat, members only. That's what it's. You know that room. I pinned it in the general chat room over there, bro. Come on in. Imagine how using AI will affect future shit bills being created in the future. Yeah, plus adding the blockchain to government records really helps prevent government wasteful spending and or lets it be widely known. Correct. So the Doge, Department of Government Efficiency, they'll be around for 2 years, then they're winding that down. We'll see, man. I just have to say, man, I've never seen an administration attempt like they are. You got to give them an A+ for effort. Got to give them an A+ for effort because they're trying. At least they're trying. Now, again, I'm not. I'm in the camp of thinking that this shit ain't gonna go smoothly at all. This is too much disruption, even with, because you got to think about this. And here's another thing, real quick. Let me just show y'all this. Let me show y'all this that's going on. Even the rhinos, Republican in name only. I can't stand them rhinos. They're corrupt too. Guess what they're trying to do? Let me show you this real quick. Look at what these fools are trying to do. Let me share this. Look at this. Charlie Kirk put out on Twitter earlier today, this morning. Make sure y'all see this. Check this out. He said, I'm told that the vote for Tulsi Gabbard might be done privately in a skiff, with the vote tallies kept secret from the American people. This is outrageous and wrong. The American people deserve to know how their senators vote on Trump's nominees. Now, ladies and gents, who controls the Senate? Who controls the Senate? Republicans. So for this to even be brought up, or that this be a possibility, the Republicans had to give it the green light. This shouldn't even be legal. How can you vote for somebody in a skiff privately? And for what reason? Tulsi is an excellent nominee, in my opinion. But to see this type of stuff, again, this is left, this is right, this is Democrats, these are Republicans. Crips and Bloods. That's what they are. Crips and Bloods. Same gang. Unbelievable, right? So again, it's going to be pretty difficult. Shout out to Clay the Great. Becoming a member automatically places you on the wheel every Monday for $50, my friend. So appreciate that. The controlled opposition control everything now. Yeah. No doubt, bro. No fucking doubt. Hit that like button, y'all, as we go through these important details here today. So again, Trump kind of hinting at abolishing the IRS, but the first step, it can't happen all at once. The first step. Now, I think he did freeze hiring at the IRS. You know, they were trying to hire 80,000 new agents. That's been frozen. So you won't have that happen now for at least the next 4 years. So he at least is not allowing the agency to grow. He's allowing it to shrink already, because you got to remember the 80,000 that they were talking about hiring is because they were having 20 or 30,000 over the span of the next 5 or 6 years retire. They're retiring out. So this is actually an act of Trump, or by Trump, to shrink the IRS by not hiring or freezing all hires. So that's what's up. This was a leading report tweet from January 22nd. President Trump is considering abolishing the federal income tax, with a driving factor being the External Revenue Service, a new government agency aimed at collecting tariffs, duties, and other revenues from foreign sources. Bada boom, bada bing. All right, so it looked like we got default in here. Now the problem is, let me see if I can do this properly. Let's see if I can get default in here real quick, y'all. See if I can get default in here. Give me 1 second, default. Let me see if I can bring you up to the stage. All right. Default.
You can hear me? You can hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Loud and
All
clear.
right. How you been, man?
Good, man. How you been? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
How you liking this Trump situation?
I'm indifferent, man. I'm just watching what's going on. I just don't agree with the direction he's trying to go. It's not a valid direction. It's more. It sounds I guess to his base it sounds good, but it doesn't make any sense. Like I keep saying, we don't live in an economy that is economy of 1900. It's 2025. You live in a dynamic economy. You live in an economy that is dependent on government spending, and if you try to pull it back in any way, you're going to have ramifications that are not going to be positive for the broader economic machine.
So what part of it are you saying? That's the part I'm not understanding about the government spending part. Like the ERS is going to increase our revenue.
In theory, that's what's being propagated. That's not again. It tears. We already gone down this road before. Like this is the reason why you don't have terrorists now, because it causes tension with these countries. It's one of the catalysts of the wars that we had and the races of resources.
No, it don't. We don't have terror. It can't be the catalyst because we ain't had no terrorists.
I said it. I said it's one of the catalysts that we had that caused the wars of the major wars in the 20s or the teens and going into the 20s and then the Second World War. This is nothing new. Like you're going to an old system that was taken out because it was inefficient and it caused imbalances. It doesn't work.
So what part of it won't work? So if we start tariffing, adding tariffs to China, to the EU, countries in the EU, we start doing that. What is their alternative? What are they going to do?
Let's say, okay, we add the tariffs to China and to all the countries that we are importing goods. So who's going to eat those costs is the consumer. That's going to be you and me. No matter what consumer good that is imported, it's going to be a tax on it. You're going to feel that if you try to purchase that good or service. It doesn't make any sense. Like it doesn't cheapen prices. All it does is take the burden off the government for giving you services.
You're only thinking one step deep. So it does increase prices. But if you're not paying taxes on your income, do you care that an iPhone costs you $2,400? That's what the research shows. If tariffs are implemented and we have to pay tariffs on incoming iPhones and whatnot from China, Asia, and other India, all the various components, but I think they actually come in from China. They say the iPhone would cost $2,400 or $2,800, somewhere around there. Am I gonna care that I gotta pay double for an iPhone when I'm not paying? Let's say I'll make over $100,000. I'm not paying $30,000. I got $30,000 more dollars in my pocket per $100,000. Do I care to pay double for an iPhone?
You don't care to pay that extra money, but to the average person that is making $30,000 a year, $35,000 a year,
yeah,
that extra 30% is not going to change, especially with the prices of housing the way they are now, with the cost of food. I'm not talking about just consumer goods. I'm just talking about basic living expenses.
Well, guess what? That person that make 30,000 shouldn't have an iPhone. Round of applause. That's the problem. We got people living in a false world.
So then again, where you're not living in a realistic economy, because you're saying that person shouldn't have an iPhone, and most of the economic, like somebody that drives an Uber that makes $35,000 a year or $40,000 a year, if they don't have the iPhone, they can't. That's their job. We're like we live
No,
in this
they
make
go
believe
get an
world.
Android. That's what they should have. Listen, a nigga making $35,000 a year shouldn't have a $1,500 phone in their pocket.
How much is Android?
Bro, you can get an Android. I can go get a Samsung older model Android for $100.
So the older models can carry the. I don't know. Can the older models work with the newer Lyft
Yes.
and Uber apps?
Yes.
Like I
Yes.
said, you're trying to go back to an economy that just doesn't make any sense. It's inefficient. It doesn't make any sense at all. If that's the solution, if people think that's the solution for the problem with the economic system now, I don't know. We're not really having a real conversation. I keep telling, like I said the last time we talked, the number one issue in America is wealth inequality, and we never talk
Right.
about it simply because there's always these other distractions. Now the distraction is, oh, we're gonna cut taxes out. I'm talking about income. We're not talking about taxes. Taxes, whether taxes is 99% or 30% or 10%, what is the income of the masses? How does it get divvied up? And that's the real issue. And that's where you get to the issues, though. Your Congress, like you keep talking about, Congress is controlled, is not representing the people, and I keep laughing because they don't represent the people. They represent money interests. It's the same thing I said last time we talked. The same thing I was talking about Elon last time we talked. These people.
Right. But that's the thing, bro. That's how we got to the point where we're not making these countries pay their fair share.
This has nothing to do with other countries. We're talking about the United States.
It does, because
economy.
Congress doesn't represent the people. They represent themselves. That's why they're doing back doors with these countries and allowing them to basically highway robbery, get away with bringing stuff into our country, little to no tax.
They don't represent themselves.
Listen, we can't send, if we try to send I knew someone that had a Viper, right? This years ago, had a Viper over in Asia, in China. Do you know, bro, it cost him 400 grand just to get the damn Viper over to China? And then he had some crazy, it was some exorbitant gas tax on the vehicle, bro. It was like you had to be a multi-millionaire to have a Viper, which was $130,000 car over here. This is what they do to us all the time.
Listen. Congress doesn't represent themselves. They represent the corporations and businesses that donate to them. We don't live in a democracy. People keep, I think that's the biggest thing I think that's the disconnect from what I talk to people, is they actually still believe in the system. They actually still believe that their vote matters, that what they say matter, and it's just a facade. And Trump is playing this facade, I think, the best right now. That's why he won. That's why I believe he was going to win. It was not even a question. Is because the Democrats' facade is not persuasive. Trump is a fake populist, and he's coming up with these ideas that are have been done already, and people just don't know the history and don't understand the markets to understand that this doesn't make any sense.
Wait a minute. You call him a fake populist?
That's his whole campaign.
He's not just a populist?
And I'm being I'm asking a serious question. I'm not just this is, when I look at these things, I don't look from my feelings. I'm analyzing it. Where does it benefit the masses or not? What economic policy benefits the masses? Cutting taxes doesn't benefit the masses. It benefits rich people.
Wait a minute. So you're telling me that if I don't have, at any rate, right? If you're making $30,000 all the way up to $3 million, you're telling me at the $30,000 tax bracket, which would be what, 24% or lower,
Mm-hmm.
roughly. So you're
Yes.
telling me on the federal level, you're telling me that $6,000 in my pocket every year is not a help to me?
How much is rent?
But you're not understanding. This is money
No.
I would not have had, irrespective of what rent costs. I'm saying if an added $6,000 to my pocket and I make $30,000 a year,
At
that's a
30,000,
benefit to me.
but at $30,000 a year, you can't even live in this economy. That's the problem.
But you're living in the economy right now. People are living
No,
at 30,000.
you're if you're making $30,000 a year, you can't. You're living with somebody else. You're not doing it
Okay,
on your
yeah,
own.
and guess what? That's what the rest of the world does.
If that's cool, because those if you can get everything he's trying to push through, which I honestly I did, like I said, to me it's just noise. I don't think any of this will go through, and if it does, the economy is going to collapse on its own, just because there's going to be the shift on its own. There will have to be a reset. The reset is going to be economic collapse. But
So this point right here, default, is literally the point I was about to make that JC says here on the screen. No income tax actually helps working class people, because we already know the rich pay little to none.
it doesn't help. It doesn't help if you're making an income where you can't survive on.
But you're saying that as if the person currently, that same person, isn't paying the tax today. So anything that is less taxes they pay is a net positive for them.
I don't think you're in tune with what's going on with people that don't make our income. But yeah, I think that's the disconnect.
Come on up, T. Will. I gotta hear your I gotta hear what you got to say, bro. Default over here making no sense.
It makes perfect sense. It's just like I said, you're not in tune with people that don't make that type of income.
I'm not the only one. JC hit it on the head. This is literally what I was thinking. Like, the wealthy already have tax. They pay, hundreds of thousands of dollars a year to their CPAs to navigate and find all the tax hole loops, right?
I can pay.
They're already at an advantage. So it really just brings the advantage to the person that goes to H&R Block and just pays, or TurboTax. It levels the playing field.
It doesn't.
Okay.
It doesn't at all. If I make $1 million a year, it doesn't matter if my tax rate is 30% or 20% or zero. You're not layering the playing field by cutting taxes to somebody who makes $30,000 a year. We're not on the same level.
So
like, this
Clay the Great says employees pay the most in taxes. Most middle class people are employees. They are the ones paying most taxes. The rich are incentivized to put their money back into the economy, which is why they get the tax breaks. Paying less taxes, this is what Mr. Sakila says, paying less or no taxes will increase consumption by individuals. You don't agree with that?
It's not that I don't agree. It's just not true. You're making up stuff. Like, this is not. I'm not. Like I said, I'm not talking from a perspective of what I feel. This is simple math. We live in an economy where the average rent, like, depending where you live, like I live in Jersey, average rent is like $1,700-$1,800 a month. You try to buy a house where I live, you're talking about $500,000 for a cheap house, for like a starter home. Somebody making $30,000 a year can't live in this area that I live. This is not we're going to cut their taxes and now they can live in, they'll be my neighbor. Like I don't live in fantasy camp. This is real life.
But default, the problem is, bro, that's the baseline, right? What you're saying is the baseline, what we currently have. But any help to the average American, any reprieve from a tax is a help.
Now let's go, because you're saying about cutting taxes, because the reason why the tax he wants to cut taxes, he wants to cut the burden of the government with goods and services to its citizens. So we're not just talking about at the federal level, we're talking about at the state level. So we're talking about programs like food stamps, Medicare, Medicaid, programs like that. Those programs are literally the reason why you don't got people robbing you at the damn when you go to get some gas or whatever.
Agree.
Like, so
it's a social safety net. I agree.
So you're talking about cutting these taxes.
And no tax on Social Security.
So no tax on Social Security. Social Security is literally like that's senior citizen income.
It does, but these are the people. This is what I'm saying. Like, it benefits the working people.
No, it doesn't. It does not. Like the reason why we have Social Security as a program is because people that before Social Security were literally in poverty. It's like we romanticize these eras, but not understand it because we didn't come from there. And people really don't study it from a financial perspective. Like people keep like you have like Candace Owens, whatever. She romanticizes like, oh, back in before segregation, Black people's marriage rates were higher, and it's like
she said what?
Did you hear me?
No. What did Candace Owens say?
She's always romanticizing how the Black family was stronger and how marriage rates were higher back in those times before segregation. And she's talking about the
you don't agree?
No, the rates were higher. Yeah, everybody's rates were higher in marriage.
True.
But also, when you look at this is not a feeling. Look at the Federal Reserve income from those eras, and literally it was like 40 to 50%, if it's not higher. It might be like 60% of Black people were living in poverty. Like, people look at these things just because, like, I don't look at these things from like just from the social aspect of like, oh, well, Black people were cut out of these like white people didn't allow them to drink at the water fountain. That segregation was a economic system. Like, slavery was an economic system. That's the real ramifications of these systems. And people keep looking at these things from a social aspect. You're looking at the taxes cut or the tariffs from a social aspect, from your own social well-being. I'm looking at this from an economic model. It doesn't make any sense. And it doesn't work.
Y'all hearing it from default, like my guy Mr. Tequila says. So basically, default, you're saying that we're defaulting.
Yeah, you'll be defaulting on Social Security. You'll be defaulting on Medicare. You'll be defaulting on any debt that the United States has. That's why I said there will be economic collapse if these ideas go through, because you're basically resetting the whole system, and you're defaulting on government promises.
I want to touch on what King Kush is saying. His argument is that eliminating federal income tax basically does the same thing that a UBI would do. So it basically just shifts the demand on the curve. So essentially, eventually the prices of goods and services increase by the same net margin that you save.
The UBI concept is basically a income on top of anything you make already. I don't think it's
but I'm saying he's saying that no taxes it will have the same effect as UBI, meaning that the prices of goods and services will eventually increase by the same net margin amount that you saved in not paying taxes, if that makes sense. Do
I
you agree with
understand.
that?
I understand what he's saying. Well, I understand that the idea it's not the same because you're just looking like where you're looking at this. It's just like, oh, we cut the taxes and everything else is the same. Like nothing changes. You cut taxes, everything changes because you're shifting. You're telling you basically the government is saying we're not supporting our citizens anymore. That's your trade-off. The trade-off is not like, oh, we're gonna these tariffs are gonna pay for Social Security. That's not the trade-off because it doesn't work. The math doesn't work.
Yeah, I disagree that the math doesn't work.
So 1 + 1 is 50. Like that's what the argument is. Like
No,
that.
no, not at all. Not at all. Because if we increase our tariffs, our revenue from tariffs, we should have a surplus at some point in the future. But at the same time, we have to eliminate, we have to do it, we have to do government efficiency. It can't be just adding tariffs and we spend the same amount of money we've been spending. There has to be actual cuts as well.
My question is, with this government efficiency agency, are they cutting the defense budget? That's the biggest
They are.
expense.
They're looking at Pentagon, so they're looking at the Pentagon in detail. Yep,
That's literally like
that's the biggest
it's
issue.
the biggest expense.
Yeah, it's a
So
lot. There are a lot of black budget projects that we're spending billions on a year. So yeah, it's they're going to look at the Pentagon and the DOJ and on the
and
DOD.
even with that again, we're talking about that's going to negatively affect the economy. Even though I agree with that, but I'm telling you that the like you if you look at the U.S. government as like a household, like the budget is like a budget for a household, and you start to cut expenses, you're going to lose value in areas where you probably weren't thinking as like a lot of these people are like championing the DEI cut, and they're looking at this. Well, that was not more so a budget, but that was more so a policy of inclusion, and most of that inclusion was white women. Like a lot of these people don't understand the real details of the real what's really going on in these
Oh,
markets because they don't.
DEI was no help to the black folks.
No, it's never because it's always
That's why
circumvented.
I was cheering it to be eliminated. It was on some, like you said, some white women, Indian, Asian persuasion type shit.
Yeah, it
So
was.
I was all good. I was all good for that.
That's what a lot of these programs, these social movements are really just. They just take the energy of the black struggle and they circumvent and put
I
themselves at
agree.
the top.
I agree.
So, but I don't like honestly the real solution for a lot of these economic issues. I don't know the solution for it. Like I think that it's just going to be a slow train. If we could keep on the same path, it's going to be a slow train to default. But these plans,
What
no,
do you know?
seriously.
A slow train to default.
But these type of moves, they're not real solutions, and the ramifications will be extremely more painful. And you're like people keep talking about like I think it was Rice with his civil rights. So the Civil War, with that rhetoric, these type of policies will lead to that because you'll have it would destabilize the economy.
Wait a
And
minute. Wait. Okay. So you think tariffs will destabilize our domestic economy?
But it would be yes, because then it's going to be you got to look at it like what states produce, because it becomes a goods and service economy, in a manufacturing economy, which we don't have. We have a consumer-based economy. That's most of the GDP. So the states and regions that produce the most will have more say and more economic power than whoever's not like producing goods and services. Like what I'm basically trying to say is like you're trying to go back to a simpler economy where we don't live in a simple economy. There's industries on top of industries. There's digital industries, which we're pretty much in. You have traditional industries like agriculture. Like it's a dynamic economy. 100 terrorist work where you had a simple goods and service and industrial economy that was growing. It doesn't work in modern day.
I agree with JC, man. Like, I don't think y'all like. I know King Kush. His argument is slightly different, and I actually think King Kush has a better. He has a better argument than you do, in my opinion, about why tariffs or no taxes, I should say, on federal taxes won't work, because he feels like that will just eventually increase the prices by the same margin or close to. That's a better argument.
I said that
okay.
already. I said goods and services will increase in price.
But
like
but here's the problem. Here's the thing. This is what everybody forgets. The United States is the #1 consumer in the world, I believe, even over China.
Still is right now.
Might not be. They might be past us, but I don't know. We're neck and neck if so. The world has no other option. They gotta all the stuff that they create. They gotta sell it to somebody. China is fucked. A lot of people don't realize this right now. China is like done.
China's not.
They're
done.
going through an economic
because they're shifting their economy to more domestic consumption.
They tried and it's failed.
It
so
didn't
even
fail.
they need us to buy their imports, their exports. They need us to buy. So what I'm saying is, just like Colombia, you saw Colombia fold, just like Mexico folded, just like Canada with Trudeau folded. All these threats that Trump has propositioned or has propositioned these countries and given them terms, they've all folded. They have no choice. Colombia talking about, oh, we're gonna tariff you 50% on flowers and coffee. Who the fuck, like, bro, that's not going to do anything to us. But on the other hand, if we tariff you 25% by next week and then increase it to 50% in another week, and then also stop all domestic flights into Colombia from the US, you're done like overnight. So we have the power, the upper hand economically, militarily. That's up for debate. I think we still do, but we definitely, in a non-kinetic manner, the U.S. has all the power. So we can flex and do anything we want to do. We can go by Greenland. We can go take the Panama Canal back. We can do whatever the fuck we want. And that's what the problem has been the last 20, 30 years.
I agree with you.
These politicians have made us feel like we don't have the upper hand. I'm talking about like us as American citizens. We don't have the upper hand. No, we run this shit.
I agree with you in the Western Hemisphere. In the Eastern Hemisphere, we don't.
Nah, bro, we run it over there too. We run it over there too, bro.
You don't. And that's the shift. That's what's been happening for the last 40, 50 years. And that's what's going to happen. That's when I'm saying that slow train to default. I mean,
that needs to be a new name on YouTube. Slow train to default.
The question would be though, do you want to go out, like, because the United States is not going to be the superpower within the next 5 decades. Do you want to go out like Britain, or do you want to just go out with a bang and try to flex that last time? That's the question. Trump wants to go out with a trying to flex that last time. That's the mentality. I don't think that works. I don't think either way works. But it
So
is
the
what it
problem,
is.
so King, I wish King Kush could come up here. I might have to open this bad boy up to the public because he's making some good points, but I got counter arguments to what he's saying here. He's saying that you guys see it on the screen because I got it up there, but basically he's saying parts of the problem is that we're a consumer economy, talking about the U.S., and it's why the U.S. will decline economically. China is a leader and is taking over from the U.S. China dominates the tech sector, electric cars, and AI. The problem is they dominated in a false environment, meaning nobody wants Chinese yuan dollars. They don't want yuan. They don't, no
That's
one wants it.
that.
This
I
is
don't.
why they will never supersede us because we have the power, bro.
I don't agree with that, and I don't agree. And I don't necessarily agree with that because you can look at the charts. Look at the bond market in China right now. The market is saying they want Chinese bonds. They want the yuan. They're invested in the yuan. You look at our markets, you look at our interest rates right now, they keep creeping up. It's one of the reasons, like a lot of people are like, oh, Trump is going to get in, the economy's going to do so well. I don't care who's in. And I keep saying this over and over again. I don't care who's the president. What's the interest rate? Where rates are going? That's what determines the economy because we do have a consumer economy. And so if credit is expensive, then you're not going to have a boom cycle. If you don't have a boom cycle, I don't care who's in. That's why Biden's economy was so sluggish and it was terrible because the boom and that Trump when he left, that boom was gone and rates crept up and things became more expensive. And on top of that, everything became more expensive. You had an inflation issue. There's only so much you can do when you're fighting trillion, hundreds of trillions in dollars in markets. Like you can't, unless you're printing money, you can't beat it. It is what it is, and that's why I said I don't look at these situations, these issues from just what I personally and socially believe. I look at it from an economic standpoint. It is what it is. I don't think Trump's going to have a like. I think you mentioned like the Democrats are done and da, 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 da. I have no idea because the economic if rates go to where I think they're going to close to 6%, it don't matter what Trump says. Republicans will lose in 2028.
So Donald says. So I agree. No, I'm not in the camp with people saying that Trump is going to like totally be able to turn this bad boy around. I'm a little skeptical because I feel like we got a black swan event coming, and I got to see how we make it through that.
I mean,
They're not going to allow this to just be smooth sailing. So something is about to economically happen, or kinetically happen, where it's going to put a monkey wrench in his vision for the next 4 years. But Donald Muhammad said he doesn't agree. No one wants the dollar. America is hated around the world. Donald Muhammad, you're categorically absolutely wrong. You're conflating people's hate for America with their need for the dollar. The dollar is as strong as it's been in our lifetime. All debt, almost 90% of the debt, global debt, is denominated in dollars. So I don't care if they can't stand us, want to bomb us, want to nuke us, whatever. They rely on us. It's just fact. So we can't conflate how the world thinks about and feels about America and what the reality is from our global dominance. We are global we dominate. Everything is denominated in dollars.
for
And it
now,
hasn't changed. It hasn't even gone down.
for now, you're absolutely right. For now, but China, I mean, their plans, they're looking like a lot of people like, oh well, you know, you always hear the notion, people, they be like, oh, well, you know, rich people, they think 100 years from now, China literally they have 7-year plans. And they stick to those 7-year plans. Their government is more efficient. I know it's the communist government. I know people don't want to hear, you know, they work better, but they work better because they have central planning. It's a more efficient way of running a government.
I agree.
Where here we have, you know, we don't have real debates. Like our policies come from, you know, this company wants, you know, Meta wants to take TikTok users, and so we're going to ban TikTok. But we're the land of the free. But you know, it's a real. There's a lot of hypocritical stances that this country is in, and I just like. I'm not saying, you know, tomorrow that America is going to be, you know, third world, but the investments in the way we're going is just, like I said, it's just a slow train to. It's not going to be. I don't see us in the same light in 2 decades. Probably by the end of the decade.
I agree with you. I agree with you there. I'm not saying that. Yeah. Yeah. I'm concerned about the next 5 years.
That's what I'm saying.
Like,
But again, this is where we go into these when we're talking about tariffs and everything else. It's like I understand that there's a search for an answer, but the answer that we're getting is not viable. It's not, and it's not going to shift the course we're on. And I think that's, you know, that's more a philosophical like conversation, because I just think all these market-based economies are inefficient and are really just, it's dumb. It's like we live in a dumb world because there's a lot of advancements that could happen if we take the profit structure out of it. But that's a whole different other discussion. But I'm just talking about from the system we're in now. These ideas that Trump have, they sound good. Like, yeah, no taxes. Sounds amazing. It doesn't work. It just doesn't work. But, you know,
I feel you, bro. Ladies and gentlemen, I do have the lines open. You can join. I pinned the link in the chat room and in the description of this video. So if y'all want to come up and talk, feel free to come up.
Yeah, I gotta get out of here though, man. I'm gotta run.
All right, appreciate you jumping on, Default. I'll talk to you, bro. So King Kush said, how is China leading in AI and tech despite microchip sanctions on China? Because they stole it. So it's easy for you to be leading when you steal from someone else, then innovate, right? I'm not saying they have some of the smartest people for sure, but they stole a lot of our architecture, a lot of our IP. Do you know countries, American countries right now, ladies and gentlemen, y'all may not know this, but American countries right now have billions of dollars stuck in China right now. They won't let them move their money outside of China. It's stuff like that, bro. Enough of that shit. Like, they're taking advantage of us. So they have an asymmetrical advantage. So that's why we gotta shift. We gotta turn these tides, man. We gotta shift this shit around, because for too long we've been sold out behind our back. Like Default said, these congressmen and women don't have our interests in hand. He's right. They got their own interests in hand. They've been selling us out for the last 20 years. I think China. What year was that? The whole NAFTA thing was like 2004 or 3 or something like that. So it's been like 20 something years since China has been pretty much been playing an unfair game. We've been allowing them to play an unfair game. We got T Will in the building. What's going on, bro?
What's happening, man? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you loud and clear.
Man, this is sad, man. This is sad. I'm serious, man. That's why I didn't want to come up. I didn't, when you listen to somebody talk, and this ain't against John here, but it is, the man sound like he was fighting to talk. Listen to his voice. He was like, yeah. He couldn't just get his words out. That means, he really don't know what he's talking about.
So how do you feel about the whole situation with these tariffs that Trump is trying to institute?
I believe what's the worst thing can happen, man? We have tried it. What do you say, since 1920? So it's been 100 years without tariffs. We see what's going on 100 years later. That ain't enough information for these folks. What do we got to go 500 years before we look back at what worked?
Right.
It's
I agree.
sickening and it's sad, man. It's
we got to try different things, and I just hate that people are they're so opposed to trying something different. At least try it. Then when at least try it, and if it fails, then okay, you can come back to us and be like, "See, I told y'all." But y'all don't even let us try.
Hey man, if you ain't down with the blue hair, you don't care, man. It's just that's how it go.
King Kush said that the U.S. has been too busy bombing the world, creating fake wars. Meanwhile, China been making deals and innovating. I'm not taking away from China, but this is why all the stuff y'all saying about China this, China that, but y'all don't want to see us put our foot on China's neck. I don't understand. You want them to continue being the way they are.
Do we even really know what's going on in China? I mean, to be honest.
No, they lie about all data. Again, here's another key point that y'all may not know, but there was a law that was passed about 15 years ago, 10 years ago, that allowed Chinese companies that are traded here on our exchange through like a SPAC or whatever. They have some special way that Chinese companies can be traded here on our exchanges, right? It allows us not to be able to audit their books. We allow them not to give us their books to be properly audited like all other countries and companies from all other countries. See, this is the type of stuff that has to stop, bro. Yes, they are doing very well, but it's because we've sold ourselves out to allow them to be doing well. This is why they have a competitive advantage. We've given it to them, T. Will.
Man, it is what it is, man. It is what it is.
U.S. is the biggest bully in the block. Yeah, we've done some horrible stuff. I'm not one of those to say God bless America and we just, we the best thing smoking. We've done horrible things. I totally agree. All countries have. That's the human nature. That's what we do. We do horrible things. But since I'm in this country, I want us to win. China needs to have more kids. That's another thing. They're not having enough kids, T. Will. So they're actually on a decline. They're on a spiraling decline. So like CZ and SBF did, we could not see their books. Correct. That's crazy, man. I got the lines open. If y'all want to come up and talk. Have you been paying attention to this whole AI stuff? T. Will.
Man, I told you my thoughts on this the last time we was up here. I'm pretty much with it, man. I think the U.S. is getting to the point to where, what's the easiest way to say it? I ain't gonna say it. It's all good. I'm with it though.
King Kush says the best way to put, quote unquote, our foot on China's neck is to compete by innovation. But Americans are not willing to get educated to the same level as China and India. Hence why U.S. giving HB1 visas to Indians. That's a whole nother conversation, bro. It's a whole nother conversation. You're right, but you got to understand why our education system is so horrible. It's because of taxes. So property taxes constitutes about 85%. So 85% of your property taxes goes towards your local education system. That system has failed us. It's been proven it's a fraud. It's a money laundering scheme. You got these district operators making $400,000 a year and all this and all that, and ain't shit getting done. That was another thing that Trump talked about, T. Will, getting rid of the U.S. Department of Education because it ain't doing a damn thing. Making the states be fully liable and responsible for the education system, then it would make them actually get shit in order, in my opinion. If the U.S. wants to win, stop the warmongering trillion sent to you. Yeah, I agree. Again, we got a lot of issues. We definitely got a lot of issues, but you know, I think we're trying to go in the right direction. We're trying to go in the right direction under this administration. We'll see if he can continue. Do you think he's going to be successful this next 4 years? I'm skeptical. Not on his own merit. I think he's going to get. He's going to get. I don't know what the word is. Spearheaded or whatever. They're going to try to stop Trump, bro.
They ain't gonna be able to.
Why do you say that?
Slowly but surely, these policies will be shown that they are better than what we got. And more Democrats might not flip to Republicans, but they'll become more leaning to Republican policies because they won't have no choice.
Yeah. Are you familiar with Fetterman?
Yeah, like that. That's exactly what I'm talking about.
Right. I agree. We will see more, but the deep state, though, the deep state T will are the people I'm concerned about. See, the deep state cares nothing about the U.S. as a nation. They want to dismantle. They're the Soroses. They want to dismantle our borders and any semblance of nationalism. So I'm more concerned about them.
That's what the average person don't get, though. That's what all these guys that are in here screaming that the U.S. shouldn't do this and shouldn't do that. They don't even understand that a lot of our policies aren't even ran by U.S. people. You can buy our politicians, like you said earlier, so they'll change things. A lot of these other countries, you can't bring your money into their country. You can't buy on their land. You can't produce crops there. You can't own businesses there.
Yeah. Let me see. My man Crypto City just said, breaking news, White House reveals the truth behind New Jersey drones. I got to see this real quick. Oh, shit. What we got? Live. We got live on deck, ladies and gents. What we got here? Before I do that, I do want to just quickly go, since we got to stay on topic with what the stream was kind of set up for. I do want to show y'all real quick. I went through whitehouse.com, presidential actions, and these are pretty much all, let me see, I don't have those up there. All of the EOs that Trump put into play when he got in. Pretty interesting ones. I was looking at them. These titles are pretty, some of them was like, damn, that's pretty dope. He did, I don't know if y'all heard about this. He provided water resources in California and improved disaster response in certain areas. He today opened up the waterways up north in California to flow down to LA area. So that's what's up. I saw one in here. I was like, damn, that's what's up. So the declassification of records concerning the assassination of President JFK. And I think in here is also MLK, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see. Yeah, Martin Luther King Jr. How you feel about that? Because I was talking, my dad can't stand Trump, okay? And he was like, I was like, but Dad, I mean, how you feel about Trump releasing the records on MLK. That's good, you know. At least we know. He's like, I don't give a fuck. He said MLK is dead. What that's gonna do? How you feel about MLK? Them releasing, you know.
I think it's a beautiful thing, but you got to understand what a lot of us CB, we are mama's children. I keep saying that, man. Trump, I seen Donald Muhammad say the Trump whatever is going to have to fuck around and come back. I like Trump because I feel like we got some manpower. I feel like the dude got some balls. I'm tired of all these feminine men. I just can't take it no more.
Me too. Me too. And I think that's what they most scared of is just that the masculine energy that Trump brings. He doesn't play games, man. We got an alpha male. When the last time we had an alpha male in office as the chief commander?
I can't tell you.
Maybe Bush won. Maybe Clinton. I would say maybe Clinton.
I think a lot of black folks, man, we just stuck on racism, man. Once you give a white man or a white person that racist label, it's just some of us just ain't gonna let it go. I don't care what they do. They can save your life. You could be hit by a bullet and they can come put a tourniquet on and keep you living. Once you get out the hospital, you're gonna be, I can't stand these crap. I can't stand these white people. Goddamn. It's sad, man.
Yeah, no, they definitely know how to do the playbook on the black folks. Definitely know how to play that book. All you got to do is say you're racist. That's one, and for the blacks, and then for the whites, the liberal whites, all you got to do is say he doesn't like gays or he's a womanizer. That's all you got to do for the white liberals, and then that checks that box for them. They can't stand you. Nothing you say will change that. So they know the playbooks to run to get people to feel a certain way and direct people's feelings towards individuals a certain way. Too many trans, not enough tests. I hear that.
I mean, I ain't got no problem with the gays and the trans and all that, but I mean, don't broadcast it. Don't put it in my face and say, deal with me, look at me, deal with me.
King Kush, you lost me on this one, bro. Trump and Biden are one in the same. How you feel about that comment? You might not like Trump, but you can, in my opinion, you cannot sit up here and say that Trump and Biden are one in the same.
He probably said Kamala was black. You know, you just got
that's diabolical right there, bro. That's some strange. That's crazy work, is what they say. I wouldn't say that Trump and Biden are. You may not like Trump, but he is not Biden. Coleman Young. Oh man, those were the years blacks was eating in Detroit, boy. 2 wings, 1 bird. I disagree.
You really can't say that though with this, because even the Republicans are fighting Trump. The Democrats might be the 2 wings of 1 bird.
Yeah, that's how you know
this man is getting pushback from his own folks.
Yeah. That's how you know it's not. That's your number 1 marker. That's your number 1 marker. That's exactly
That's why I say some of these folks don't think it out. They just talk.
So let's go ahead and look at what this EO is. Let's say, External Revenue Service. I had to search it, and it's in the America First trade policy. That's really what the EO was, and in here we find a section about External Revenue Service. So in section 2, part B, the Secretary of Treasury, in consultation with the Secretary of Commerce and the Secretary of Homeland Security, shall investigate the feasibility of establishing and recommend the best methods for designing, building, and implementing an external revenue service to collect tariffs, duties, and other foreign trade related revenues. It's just sad that we don't even have an organization, a department out of all of, we got about 11 departments in America. And we don't have right now, don't have one that even is overseeing tariffs like that in any capacity, which is, again, it just lets me know that we've been sold, man. We've been sold for many years, man. Like you said, over 100 years, we've been sold. The American people have been sold. Easier to brainwash people to hate someone than to love someone. Interesting take there. Ben Frank, that's my guy. He said Trump's still a Democratic Republican. Oh man, he used to be a Democrat. He definitely used to be a Democrat. He used to be independent too. I like people that move around, man. You ain't stuck in one box. They both don't care for the people. They care about pleasing their Israeli donors.
I think Trump got enough money. Anybody that say that, I mean, how much more money? You know what I seen when I seen Trump's family on stage, and I told my old lady, I said, I see a man who made his whole family moguls. Everybody in this family is extremely woo.
Yeah, before office though. That's the difference between all these other politicians. They get rich after they get in office, which is quite strange. Biden didn't have no money until he got into office, VP, and then president. His family siphoned off $30 million. We're now finding out. 30 mil, T. Will, in the last 4 years. Actually, it goes back 10 years. 2014 is precisely when he started siphoning off money from Ukraine, the Burisma deal.
You know what's crazy? Donald Muhammad said the Trump cheerleaders, I wouldn't have give a damn if it was Trump or anybody else that was making strong moves. It didn't have to be Trump. I don't think people get this. Trump just the man that did it. It could have been Donald Muhammad if he was running for president and he made some strong moves. We'd be talking like this about him.
You know what the problem is with it's human nature. I'm seeing it right now in the UFO community. So we're getting all this disclosure. We're getting some major whistleblowers, T. Will, some major cats that we're working. These are firsthand accounts, not secondhand, firsthand accounts of people working in the UAP retrieval programs. They've had physical damage from radiation exposure to these devices and stuff. And it's coming out this year. But in the UFO community, they're like, oh, he's a psyop. He's this and that. People, what happens is people want something for so long, right? They've been wishing for something. And then when it actually comes true, they have almost like a ontological shock, a cognitive dissonance. They don't want to believe what they've been wishing for so long has come true. So you're always going to have, in my opinion, that factor. It's nothing that person can do for you to believe that that he's the one.
We're gonna find out. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
Now I know you believe something's gonna happen to him.
Yeah, I don't know if something's gonna happen to him. I think they're gonna do something to stop his agenda. Whether it's directly him or another false flag. You know what I mean? So that's what I think is going to occur. So Ben Frank said Trump was born rich. Trust fund baby.
What's wrong with that?
No, it's not that. To me, it ain't that question. It's the question of return on investment. So his father, I think, loaned him $1 million. I think it was back then in the 80s or 70s or something like that. I don't know when. He got a hand up. First of all, I don't know what's wrong with that. don't you want to be in a position to help your kids out? That's the whole point, right? We want to be able to help, give a hand up, not a handout. So whatever. But the fact that he was able to take that $1 million or $3 million, whatever it is, and turn it into billions of dollars, it is not like that. That's easy to be done. It's still hard to do that.
The hate is real, man. That's all I can say.
X signed the deal. Yeah, bro. I was gonna bring this up later tonight. X signed a deal with. I didn't even know about this X Money. Did you know about X Money or Money X? I think it's X Money. X Money is a platform they're about to roll out this year. T Will. It's almost like a Cash App, but it's gonna be for X users.
Oh yeah, he been talking about that for a minute.
Yeah. So they just signed a deal, and actually I got it up here, right here. They just signed a deal. Let me see. I'm gonna bring it up real quick, y'all. This is the tweet from Linda Yacarino. I think she might be like CEO of X or something. I can't remember. But this is her tweet she put out this morning, 9:55. Another milestone for the Everything app. Visa is our first partner for the X Money account, which will debut later this year. Goes on to say, allows for secure plus instant funding to your X wallet via Visa Direct, connects to your debit card, allowing P2P payments, option to instantly transfer funds to your bank account. First of many big announcements about X Money this year. Now, here's my question. A lot of us watching T Will are crypto people. Is there really a need for, like, this is instant payment? Yeah, it's not decentralized, but these are instant payments. These, this is the main thing that us crypto people have to understand. In a competitive market, who's a competitor to crypto? Cash App, Venmo, and now X Money. What is the competitive advantage to using crypto over these platforms? For us, we understand what it is, but for the average user, the average user is not going to understand being able to have their own money in their own account and not be, seized and whatnot. So do you think this is a plus or a minus for the argument of using cryptocurrencies?
It's definitely a plus because most of the older folks that don't deal with crypto like myself, you can see I got that white, even though I deal with crypto, a lot of my people don't.
It too. Yeah.
So this is going to onboard a lot of people, but what I do know is that these kids don't care. They can't get credit cards right now and all that anyway. They're going to deal with crypto. So they're going to come in through crypto on the back end anyway, but on the front end, you got to deal with the money that's out here now. So you let the Visa, the MasterCards, all them in.
Yeah, I think I do too. I think they're going to definitely have crypto on there without a shadow of a doubt. That's going to be probably step X Money 2.0 or 3.0 for sure. Musk is a trust fund, baby. I don't think Musk pops had money, did he?
Even if he is, what's wrong with that? I don't get this, man. CB, you doing all right? Is your kids doing better than what you was doing when you came up? Should somebody hate on you because of that?
Not at all.
And if you instill the right rules, do you think your grandbaby's gonna be doing better than your kids did?
Yeah, that's the
What's
plan.
What's wrong with these folks?
That's the plan. Elon is a Hebrew name, but he is not Israeli or Israelite. Man. Trump is only good for Bitcoin and NIH with RFK. Now you got to give him some credit for that. Definitely got to give him some credit for that. Let me pull this back up real quick. Hold on one second.
Who hate anybody who thinks that a man leaving something to his children is a problem. because I plan on leaving a nice chunk of change too. And that means you hate me because my kids go to private school who gonna spend a lot of time with important people and not in the hood doing dumb shit. So now I'm a sellout. That's what it means.
Clay the Great, I don't give a damn if he was born rich or poor. The man's policies work for the average Joe. I don't judge birth, fam. Okay. How are you going to hate on a man that come from what you want to provide for your own family? Yeah, man. I don't, like you said, that's not a criteria for me to respect or dislike a man if he comes from or doesn't come from wealth. That's how it's supposed to be. And it's just unfortunate, us blacks, we didn't have that. We starting this race at a huge disadvantage, multi-generational disadvantage.
Hey, I have to kind of disagree with that a little bit, CB, because a lot of black folks have been getting money, especially since the early 80s, the dope era. We've seen a lot of people get a lot of money. We like to wear our money. We like to show our money. We don't like to, and just think if 50% of the dope boys would have invested their money, the black economy would be nothing like it is. We wanted rims, cars, hoes, clothes, gold. We didn't want nothing. That don't work with me. I could whatever.
I agree with that, but at the same time, those dollars that we were generating off the backs of our own community was tearing down our community. It wasn't like we were offering a service or a product that was beneficial to our community. It was a service or product that was killing our community. I guess that doesn't have anything to do with that. I guess that's not related to what you're saying. You're right. If the dope boys would have invested, we would have seen it, but they didn't. We didn't create that generational wealth. You know what I'm saying?
I'm just saying they had the opportunity. That's all.
Definitely had the opportunity. Blockchain report said, I used to hate on Trump for getting money from his pops, but not anymore. Why hate someone who made a fortune out of another opportunity? The other noise is just a victim mindset. Yeah, I tend to agree. I'm from Detroit getting money. That's right. There we go. We know how to do it, leading to more control over the people. We got Voice Crypto in the building. Shout out to him. Thanks for becoming a member. Voice Crypto. The central bank is the primary competitor to what? Average American, typically ignorant. They are more worried about their families, jobs, etc. Bro, did you see it was a person that did a man on the street last week, and they were asking people, how do you feel about Martin Luther King not being at President Trump's inauguration? Do you know fools was actually up there saying, yeah, I think that was bold and bad that Trump didn't allow Martin Luther King to be at the inauguration. And one lady was a black woman, man. It's like we living on autopilot or something, bro. The shit is diabolical. She didn't even know that. I don't know if she didn't know that Martin Luther King was dead, or she was just so on autopilot that she just answered whatever question was given to her. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Musk Daddy owned mines in Africa. Okay. Being wealthy is easy. Keeping the wealth, that's a different and that's what I'm saying. People that y'all gotta understand, if y'all ever had got your hands on some money, you'll realize the skill is in keeping it.
Man, I'm sure we all got family. I got about 5 cousins, CB, that got settlements through scheming. I'm talking about a couple $100,000, slipping and falling in Walmart, stuff like that. And all of them broke. Hundreds of thousands. That money gone.
Yeah.
No houses, no nothing. I mean, they just tricked it.
Same. I had he's no longer here, but I had a uncle, same scenario. You know, $300,000-$400,000 settlement. Blew it. Mustad used to have an emerald mine in Africa, if I'm not mistaken. Right? Yep. Thanks, Extreme. Someone else said that too. Yep. Voice Crypto. All the wealth is with the boomers, and they will be passing it all down. The wealth gap will go crazy. Black people stay in Louis and Gucci. You ain't lying. That's why reparations won't work. I'm a firm believer we saw a precursor or what it looks like if we got reparations during pandemic, T. Will. I saw so many people in the mall lined up at Gucci, Louis, Prada, that they had to put club, you know, the ropes. When you lined up at the club, they had to put them outside these stores, bro. We were in line, just blowing the money, giving it right back to the white man. Right back to the white man. King Kush said, what's your thoughts on MLK being a creation of the FBI from the released documents on JFK? I haven't seen. Have you seen the JFK documents yet?
I don't think they out yet.
Oh, he's saying it like it was released. I used to hear rumors that MLK was an FBI creation, and it wouldn't surprise me. See, I wasn't an MLK guy, man. I was a Malcolm X dude, or M.
That was the 90s.
Huh?
That was the 90s.
Yeah, I'm a Malcolm X follower, and a lot of his ideology I subscribe to. Maybe not all of it. Some of it may have been extreme, but a lot of it I follow. You know, one main thing being black man's worst enemy is a white liberal. And I truly, if y'all can't see that today, I don't know what else to tell you.
Why you think Trump got the most black votes ever, or black men?
He got the most black men votes, Hispanic votes, and another minority group. Yep. MLK used to be with my cousin Aretha. Aretha Franklin's your cousin? Ben Frank. Okay, I get it. Yeah, definitely. X all the way. There you go. Yeah, no doubt, man. So I appreciate you joining today, T. Will, jumping on here, bro. What you got up for the rest of the day?
Man, I'm sitting in the office trying to get this new printer together, you know, doing what a lot of these guys don't want to do, working.
When you gonna work on that podcast?
Man, you know what? I think, you know what I learned, CB? I'm too real, too truthful. I'm like the Trump of this shit as far as the way I do it. Folks don't want that slice down the middle. They don't want that hard fact. They want you to sugar them to death. And it is what it is.
All right, man. I appreciate it, bro. Y'all hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel. Let me see. What we was there anything else I wanted to look? I think that was it. So yeah, the External Revenue Service piece was inside of the America First trade policy. I'm going to look into what I think Crypto City mentioned something about JFK, Martin Luther King files being released. I'm gonna look into that. I'm waiting to see what the hell they got to say. Like I said, wasn't a fan of MLK like that. I understand, you know, a lot of black folks feel like. Here's the thing. Can I just be honest with you? When the government gives you a day, gives you all a street, they give you all they federalize you and people get days off and stuff. Them ain't the real. That's not the real person. that was pushing the revolution. That was the chosen person. That was the chosen person. No, he was saying the 90s, as far as, you know, Malcolm X, that movement was real big in the 90s, 80s. But yeah, you gotta think about that, ladies and gentlemen. The ones that give, I'm talking about your revolutionaries. You know, you don't see a Malcolm X Day. You don't see a happy Malcolm X Day and you get the day off and you get to, you know, do your thing. No. You don't see a Huey P. Newton Day. You don't see the real ones. The real ones don't get a day, ladies and gentlemen. I'm gonna just leave it at that. It's your boy Crypto Blood. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe, and I will catch y'all later. Hi.
Yo, it's Crypto Blood, Detroit flow, screaming from the D, knowing what to show. Indicators are wrong point, OG since 12, invested in trade, living life like a pro. I'm Rucker, Jerry, it just bloods do. Bad motherfucker, but in a good way, boo. Got my eyes on the charts, ain't no time to sleep. Get that money, gotta keep it creep. That's my Crypto Blood, Twisted Toasters on the line. Stacking my coin, got the market on my mind. Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum too. Cash is king, but I'm looking for a new move. I know the culture of the markets like the streets. Got my finger on the pulse, can't nobody beat. I see the trends, I see the flow. Got my strategies in place, you know.
And that is it for us today. Okay, I don't know. Whatever it is, it's not right on the teleprompter. I don't know what that is. I've never seen that.
No, there is. We are going to do Sting, yeah.
Okay, but
Okay.
now I can't read it. There's no words on it.
Okay. Ready? Sure.
There's no words there. To play us out. What does that mean? To play us out.
Sting is going to do. It's a video. Sting video.
What is
For credits.
I don't know what that means. To play us out. What does that mean? To end the show?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, go.
In 5, 4, 3.
That's tomorrow, and that is it.
Okay. In 5, 4, 3.
That's tomorrow, and that is it for us today. And we will leave you with a. I can't do it.
Okay.
We'll do it live.
Okay. No.
We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it, and we'll do it live.